Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome to my April Q&A answers video. A week delayed, unfortunately, but we're gonna get there in the end. I just want to say I'm really happy about the amount of comments and stuff that I've got here. 16 comments for my basically the Q&A Ask Me Questions video. So God knows how many questions. I'm gonna do this probably in like 20-25 minute videos. And what I'm also going to do is basically put in the description basically whose questions I'm answering in the video, and also what time that I answer the questions, just so you don't in case people don't want to have to like listen to like the whole Q&A. If they just want to hear their question being answered, well, they can jump straight to the part in the video. So yeah, we're gonna go for it here. So we'll start off with the first question, which this is actually the only question that I've read. I didn't mean to. It was just the first comment that came through, and I just jumped into the inbox and read it, and then I realised, oh wait, I should be doing this blind. So I prefer making these Q&A videos blind. So yeah, the first question is from Xprentas, who's a good friend of mine on YouTube, PlayStation Network, playing One Nation Racers and stuff, and on Skype. Is Xprentas. So yeah, his question is, why won't you grow your mustache or any facial hair? Yeah, you're obsessed with my mustache, aren't you? I don't know. I've never really been a fan of having facial hair, like beard or sideburns, mustache. I'm not really a fan of that kind of thing. I know a lot of people just leave their facial hair to grow and stuff, but I personally don't like facial hair, so yeah, I basically shave it. I'm lucky it doesn't grow too quick, so I only need to shave it like once a week. But it'll start growing quicker when I get a bit older. And I'm 20-year-old, and I thought I still look really young, so 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 that's basically why I won't grow my mustache or any facial hair. I'm not really a fan of it, to be honest. So thanks for the question, mate. Next question is from FreakXbox123. So would you rather know when you will die or how you will die? That is actually a really interesting question. It would be handy to know when you'll die, so basically you can do everything you want to do in life, meet your life's expectations and achieve your goals. And it'd also be interesting to know how you will die, so you know what to expect, and you'll be able to know whether it's going to be painful or whether it's going to be instant, like a gunshot to the head, which you will never feel. Um, I'm gonna say I would rather know when I'm gonna die. So basically, I can do everything I want to do in life. Meet my life's expectations and achieve everything that I want to do in life before I die. So I think that would be more. I'd rather know that, but yeah, both would be really interesting to know. But I'm gonna go for I'd rather know when I'm gonna die. So that's that one. A really interesting question there, mate. Well done. And oh, we've got a second question now. And do you like rugby? Nah, I really don't like rugby. I don't know why. I've tried to watch it, when Scotland and stuff's on. I've tried to watch it, but I personally don't like it. I know there's people from my college and stuff that are really into rugby, but I personally can't stand it. Not really my kind of sport. I prefer like football and stuff. So yeah, I'm not really. I don't like rugby in the slightest. So thanks for the questions, mate. Next, oh god, there's 8 questions from somebody. So next 8 questions are being asked by MationAnimations, who's also subscribed to my GameZone 5000 channel, I believe, as well. A recent commenter and stuff. So yeah, 8 questions. Let's see how this goes. Question 1. I know Wesker is your favourite Resident Evil character. To right, yes, Wesker is awesome. So how do you feel about him having a long lost son in Resident Evil 6? Wow, that's actually it's actually really interesting to know that Wesker's going to have, like a long lost son in Resident Evil 6. Personally, I don't know if he's going to be good or not. In my opinion, I just don't think you can beat Wesker. Wesker is the man. Wesker's like, in my opinion, the ultimate Resident Evil villain, and trying to take his place with somebody else that's related to Wesker. I don't really think it might work well. I need to, it's early days, but I personally don't think he's going to be able to replace Wesker. But we'll find out, I suppose, when Resident Evil 6 comes out. But yeah, I suppose it's okay. I mean, at least it's Wesker related, I suppose. Yeah. So question 2. What do you think of the really expensive collector's edition of Resident Evil 6 that comes with Leon's jacket? Do you think it is silly or interesting? Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's really expensive. Personally, in a way, it's a little bit interesting, but I'm gonna say it's more silly than interesting. I mean, Leon's like he's a fictional character, and basically what Capcom really want is is true Resident Evil fans and stuff just to fork out more money, yeah, basically for Capcom to get more money, getting more money out of the buyers, So I personally think it's silly. It's not really something that I would go for personally, not for that amount of money. It is it's outrageous, the price of it's really expensive. So yeah, I think it's just another excuse for Capcom to get money out of people, which game developers and stuff are really good at doing. Game publishers, game developers are really good at doing nowadays, trying to get extra money out of people. So yeah, I think it's a bit silly to be honest. But oh well, if people are interested in that kind of thing, I suppose it's up to them. I suppose. So question 3. How do you feel about Chris is going down a darker path in Resident Evil 6? Do you think they will ruin his character or add more depth to him? Well, in my opinion, I don't think they can ruin his character because I personally don't think too much of the Chris character, to be honest. In the original Resident Evil, he was funny because of the terrible voice acting. And Resident Evil Code Veronica X, he was actually really good. My personal favourite Chris Redfield. In Resident Evil 5, I don't know. He's boring as a character. I mean, cutscenes and stuff featuring Chris Redfield were boring most of the time. So I personally, him going down a darker path in Resident Evil 6, I think it'll add more depth to the character, hopefully. But like I say, I don't think they can make the character any worse as far as I'm concerned. I don't think they can ruin him. So yeah, I think they'll improve his character in that way. I certainly hope so because I do like Chris Redfield. They just need to make him a bit more interesting, as a character. Question 4, another Resident Evil question. Do you think Wesker will return or do you think he is dead? Oh, very interesting question. Very interesting question. Oh, what the hell? Obviously I would love him to return, but he might return. Wesker, he might return. He was supposed to die in Resident Evil 1, wasn't he? But he didn't die. And of course he came back in Code Veronica X, and of course Resident Evil 5, and of course he was featured a little bit in Resident Evil 4 as well. I think he'll come back personally because he's well liked. He's well liked as a Resident Evil villain. He's got a large fan base among the Resident Evil community. So I think what Capcom will do is they'll make some excuse and they might bring him back. I'm certainly hoping they'll bring him back. So whether he's alive or dead, I'm gonna say he's alive. They're gonna bring him back at some point. Don't know about Resident Evil 6, but I think they will bring him back, and I certainly hope so. Because they can't kill off Wesker. The guy's so awesome. But anyway, yeah, I think they'll bring him back at some stage. I certainly hope so. So question 5. What is the most annoying character you have encountered in a video game? Another really good question. I've actually encountered quite a lot of boring character, not boring characters, annoying characters. Um, but I'm gonna have to say Big the Cat from Sonic Heroes, and I believe Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I've not played Sonic Adventure 1 or 2, but it was in Sonic Heroes, which I think was the first game that they introduced all these stupid Sonic Hedgehog characters: Amy Rose, Big the Cat, Cream Woman, the alligator guy from Team Chaotix. Suppose they're alright. But Team Rose, like Amy Rose and Big the Cat and stuff, they didn't need to add them into the game. Just shoving pointless, unlikable characters down our throats and expecting us to like it. But they were like the most annoying characters in the game, Team Rose. But more specifically, I'm gonna go for Big the Cat. He pissed me off so much. Everything he said just annoyed the hell out of me. So I'm gonna say Big the Cat from Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I think he's probably in other games as well, but I've not played too many of the newer Sonic games, Question 6. What is your favourite line from a video game? It's gonna have to be something Resident Evil. It's gotta be something Resident Evil because I'm a Resident Evil nutter. Just put it that way. I'm a Resident Evil nutter. I'm probably gonna say a Wesker quote from Resident Evil 5. I just love it. I don't know why I get amused by this, but every time you fight Wesker and you hide away from him, because basically it's like invincible, you have to like hide away from him and stuff. And then basically he can't find you, and he just shouts, "You can't hide forever!" like that. I don't know why. It's just really funny. I just it makes me laugh like almost every time he says that. I just think it's amazing. So you can't hide from ever. You can't hide forever. That's what I should have said. You can't hide forever. A Wesker line from Resident Evil 5. I love that quote so much. That line, amazing. I could say plenty of lines from Resident Evil 1 as well, but I'm going to go for that one because I love it so much. Question 7. Have you ever fallen asleep in the middle of playing a video game? Another really unique and interesting question. Actually, surprisingly, no. I mean, there's obviously been a lot of times I've been playing it late at night, and my eyes have been nipping, like really feeling sleepy. But I've never actually fell asleep playing a video game. I'm guessing there's probably a lot of people that have. The only real time I fall asleep, like when I'm watching like a TV program or a film, I always fall asleep watching films, like movies and TV programs. But I never ever fallen asleep playing a video game, surprisingly. But yeah, there's still time. It might happen one day. But no, it's not happened so far. That's awesome. And his last question. Question 8. How much do you drink before doing one of your drunk let's plays? It depends. I'm a bit of a lightweight when it comes to drinking. It doesn't really take too much to get me a bit, drunk, but a bit lightheaded and stuff, bit of lightweight. I either drink cider, like Strongbow cider, or basically beer, like Bellhaven Best beer, or lager, something like that. Carlin's lager. So basically, I would say um, 7 or 8. I'd say 7 or 8 cans of beer and about 4 or 5 cans of cider, because cider is considerably stronger, So yeah, 4 or 5 cans of cider or 7 or 8 cans of beer, or lager, So yeah, like I say, it's not too much. I know people that can drink, like 12, 13, 14, and before they get drunk. But I'm a lightweight. I hold my hands up. I'm a lightweight. But yeah, actually, real interesting questions there, mate. Some really unique questions. And yeah, so I'm gonna stop the video here actually for a moment. I'm gonna add back with another video clip, and I'll stick it on to the end of this one. Okay, so we're continuing with the Q&A answers. I might just make this 25 minutes long because time goes really quickly when you're answering questions. I have to admit, you know. So who did we get up to? Oh yeah, Kieran D212, another Scottish gamer from Glasgow, who started making pickup videos again lately. So that's awesome. He's got what 7 or 8 questions here. So yep, go straight to the top. First question: your top 5 favourite soft drinks in no particular order. Ah, that's pretty interesting question actually. That might actually get me thinking. Well, first of all, it's got to be Dr Pepper because I love Dr Pepper, you know. Um, yeah, Dr Pepper. Red Cola. Ah, I love Red Cola to bits. Really good stuff. Red Cola. um, um, Iron Brew. The normal Iron Brew. I like the fiery stuff as well, but you know I still prefer a normal Iron Brew. So Iron Brew, um, Dandelion and Burdock. I love Dandelion and Burdock. It's amazing. So that's 4, and the last one. Hmm, it's a hard choice actually for the last one. Um, the energy drinks will count, won't it? Soft drink. Yeah, I think energy drinks will count, so I'm gonna go Monster. Monster Energy. I love Monster Energy. It is amazing. My favourite energy drink. Yeah, it's pretty dear in most shops, but yeah, Monster Energy, love it. So that's my top 5 favourite soft drinks at the moment. Second question: Do you do you think the Highbees actually stand a chance against the Jambos in the Scottish Cup final? Personally, I don't think so. When you look at the 2 clubs, you know, Hearts are 5th at the moment, and Hibs are second from the bottom, and still fighting relegation. And Hibs haven't defeated Hearts in absolutely ages, you know. In fact, I can't actually remember the last time Hibs actually beat Hearts. So, personally, I don't think there's a chance that Hibs can beat Hearts in the Scottish Cup final. But you know, anything can happen, I suppose. You know, I didn't think Hibs would, you know, get to the final. I didn't think Hearts would beat Celtic either to get to the final, but they did. Um, Personally, I just think Hibs have struggled their way through to the final. You know, I mean, they had Aberdeen, and Aberdeen were actually the better team in most parts of the most parts of the match in the semi final, but they won. So they've struggled their way through, but I've got to give credit to Hibs. They've done really well. I didn't expect it. So Hearts and Hibs, and also Hibs haven't won the Scottish Cup since 1902. That's like 110 years ago. It's insane. So yeah, I don't think Hibs will beat Hearts, but you know, like I say, you never know. But I don't think they've got a chance. Let's see, Brazil national team versus Barcelona. Who would win? Ah, another football question. I personally don't think the Brazilian football team is as good as it used to be. To be honest, I know Brazil used to be absolutely amazing. You know, had absolutely amazing players. But personally, I don't think Brazil are the team that they used to be. Personally, you know, and obviously Barcelona, you know, they're amazing. You know, but I don't like Barcelona really, but you know they're really good. You know, on the pitch, you can't really fault them to be honest. Uh, so who would win? I'm gonna have to say Barcelona at this present moment in time. Yeah, Barcelona. I think. Let's see. Who do you think is the best player in the SPL currently? Oh my God. The best player in the SPL. Bloody hell. Uh, wow. That's actually a really good question, and that'll actually get me thinking. Uh, Bloody hell. My mind's went blank. I always think the Rangers striker Stephen Naismith. I always think he's a an amazing player. A really good player. But there's also a lot of other good players. Dundee United, you've got that Mackay Stephen or something, who looks really good. He's got some great potential. Really young lad. Like I say, great potential. St Mirren, you've got that Hasselbank guy who's actually really fast and really tricky on the ball. A really awesome player. Hearts, I suppose you've got Rudy Scatchell, who he's like my favourite player. Roman Scatchell's amazing. I'm tempted to say Scatchell, but I don't want to be biased, So I think I'll probably say Stephen Naismith, but yeah, I know he's been like injured a lot and stuff lately, but I'm gonna say Stephen Naismith because I think he's a really good striker. He was really good at Kilmarnock, and since he went to Rangers, I think he's improved even better. To be honest, I know there's probably a whole load of players that I'm just not thinking about right now, but I'm gonna say Stephen Naismith of Rangers, but I'm not really sure to be honest. Let's see. Next question: best wrestler at doing promos in the WWE and best technical wrestler in the WWE. Wow. Right. So that's two separate questions in that. So the best wrestler at doing promos. Wow. Yeah, I'll probably be like one of the bad guys. I always think the bad guys make like the best promos. To be honest. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I always think the bad guys do the promos and stuff better. But that's just my own personal opinion. I'm gonna say Chris Jericho. His promos. I just think Chris Jericho's promos are excellent, really entertaining and stuff. Like I say, in my personal opinion, makes some awesome promos. From what I've seen. So I'm gonna say Chris Jericho for that. And as for best technical wrestler in the WWE, I mean Chris Jericho could be in that as well, but there's actually quite a lot of wrestlers that have real good technique in the ring. I personally think Randy Orton. Randy Orton can get it done in the ring. Personally, not so much promos, but yeah, I think Randy Orton can get it done in the ring. He's my favourite wrestler, so maybe this is a bit biased, but I think Randy Orton is probably the best technical wrestler in the ring in the WWE at the moment. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Next question: salt and vinegar or salt and sauce? Definitely salt and vinegar. Yeah, definitely salt and vinegar. Sorry. To keep it short, yeah, salt and vinegar. I'm not actually a fan of sauce and stuff, to be honest. For some reason, I've never been a big fan of sauce, but yeah, salt and vinegar. You can't beat salt and vinegar. Right, who's worse, Sheva or Ashley? Oh, it's Resident Evil girls. You might hate me for this, but I personally like Ashley. I don't know why. She's blonde. Yeah, I don't know why I like Ashley. So who's worse, Sheva? Definitely. I don't really like Sheva as a character. Resident Evil 5, I just thought she was boring. I'd rather had Jill Valentine like throughout the entire game, or something like Ada or something. But yeah, I didn't like Sheva in Resident Evil 5. I want to say Ashley, even though she was annoying in Resident Evil 4 and she was like unarmed, she couldn't hold a gun. Pardon me, she couldn't hold a gun. But I personally liked her as a character, and I hear she's coming back for Resident Evil 6, so I'm really happy about that. So who's worse? I'm gonna say Sheva. Worst for sacking managers: Roman Abramovich of Chelsea, if I said that right, or Vladimir Romanov of Hearts. It's gotta be Vladimir Romanov of Hearts, isn't it? I mean, you know, the amount of managers he goes through. I mean, both managers are bad. You know, I mean, Chelsea, it's usually, you know, if they don't win the league, you're out. You know, Jose Mourinho, Avram Grant, that woman, Ancelotti guy, who I personally thought was a really good manager. The recent one, Andre Villas-Boas, is now Andre Villas-Goas. um, of course, Hearts, you know, you had George Burley, John Robertson, who lasted about a week or something. Graham Ricks, you know, Shaba Laszlo, Valdez Ivanauskas. Uh, you know, you've had a lot of Hearts managers leave as well. Jim Jeffries. Uh, yeah, I think Vladimir Romanov of Hearts is the worst as far as sacking managers goes. I have to admit. Yeah. So thanks for the questions, mate. Really good questions as well. I'm gonna call it here for this part. I might make another video tomorrow night, maybe. Problem is these videos take like an hour per 15 minutes to process to YouTube. So yeah, so I might have to do these one a night or one every 2 nights maybe. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, if I didn't answer your questions, it'll be coming next, maybe, or the next. It's probably like 2 or 3 parts long, so maybe even 4. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. See you guys. Thanks for the questions so far. They've been awesome. So take care. That's awesome.